I got the bloodlust. Me too. I want to kill. Let's kill.
Hello, listeners, and welcome to The Bloodlust. This is your go-to podcast for classy broads talking horror since 2014. This is episode 268 of the podcast. Tonight we're going to be talking about the Smile movies, Smile and Smile 2, which came out earlier this year. My name is Amy. I'm your fearless leader, joined as ever by my lovely and talented co-host Jamie.
Hello.
Hi. Having some sinus issues today.
All the time.
And most of the time.
Yep. Most of the time.
Poor Jamie. But if she didn't come on the show sounding like Chucky Finster, would you even know it was her?
It's true. I could be anybody then.
Mm-hmm. I always remember that episode of Rugrats where Chucky got his adenoids taken out or something, and then he sounded different, and nobody could relate to him anymore.
Yeah.
That would be like you.
It probably would be.
Yeah.
What a weird time.
So listeners, the bad guy in Smile is kind of an amorphous bad guy, right? It just feeds on torment and suffering,
trauma.
and jumps from person to person like a parasite, and doesn't really have much of a physical form that we get a glimpse of. We just get sort of glimpses of what it might look like.
Yeah.
But we don't know if that's its actual form or if it's just something that it's manifested itself as to scare the person, its victim. So our round table for tonight is going to be, what is your favorite unseen baddie from a horror movie? So monsters like that. Monsters that don't exactly have a physical form. Somebody who's not like a Freddy or a Jason. An amorphous threat.
Yes.
What are some of your favorites, Jamie?
Well, the first one that came to my mind was the Babadook. Because it doesn't really have, sure, it's the character in the book, and you see some shadows and some outlines and stuff, but you never really see it manifest as, an actual corporeal thing. Really. And it's very scary and threatening. So that'd probably be my first one. If I had to pick a second, I'd probably go, and it's more stereotypical for the, demonic possession type things or, hauntings. But in the first Paranormal Activity, Toby.
Yeah.
Just being this creepy-ass presence in the house.
That you can't see.
That
doesn't seem to have a body.
Right. But does all these things.
And seems to inhabit the girlfriend
or
the wife at the end.
Yes.
That's a good one. I immediately thought of It Follows.
Sure.
The baddie in this sort of reminded me of that, in that it can take the form of people that you already know to fuck with you more.
Right.
And then I thought of The Thing, in that what it really is can replicate things that are already existing and hide in plain sight. Another one I thought of that I find really effective despite any kind of flaws the movie had are the bad guys in, oh fuck. Now I can't remember the name of the movie.
No.
They made a sequel and it was called Mallory. Bird Box. There it goes.
Bird Box, yeah.
I love the idea of the bad guys in that are just so disturbing and so unlike anything that we've seen before, that our minds can't handle it and they drive you insane.
Yep. That's a good one, because I liked that when I read the book. I liked
such
that
a cool
concept.
premise. Yeah. That it just causes immediate madness.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Thank you. I do wish that movie had been a little better.
Yeah, but the book is so good.
The book is very good, and it holds up.
Yeah.
And I thought Mallory was good, too.
Was that a book also?
Yes.
Oh, okay. They haven't made a movie of that.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
They did make another Bird Box movie called Bird Box Barcelona that's on Netflix that I always mean to watch, but I haven't watched.
Bird Box Barcelona?
Barcelona. They probably have tapas in it.
Oh, tapas.
Delicioso. So what are some others? Monsters are bad guys in movies that don't really have a shape. I suppose Pennywise can kind of be one. He has his normal form, but the clown isn't exactly his real form, right?
No, but I mean, I feel like he's in the movie enough as just that's basically what you know him as, Pennywise the clown.
That's true. Well, what are some others that are like this?
Blair Witch Project.
Yeah.
You don't see anything in that.
No.
And it's very scary.
I'm trying to think of like psychological horror where the people go crazy. Oh, you know what's a good one is The Dark and the Wicked. Remember that movie where the whatever it is that's like that's feeding off the comatose dad?
Oh, yeah.
Messes with people's heads and tricks the son into thinking that his family all died.
I remember that one.
And kind of takes the form of other people to fuck with the protagonist. That's
a good one.
Yeah. I do recommend that movie to people. We reviewed it on the show, but I think it's kind of underrated.
I barely remember it until you just brought it up.
I've watched it several times, and I think it's pretty good. Pretty good.
All right. I'll have to check it out again, maybe.
The Dark and the Wicked. It's Brian Bertino who made The Strangers.
Brian Boitano? Crazy.
Brian Boitano. Listeners, what are your favorite unseen baddies from horror movies? Write to us and let us know. We love hearing from you. Oh, actually, before we start talking about Smile and Smile 2, I wanted to mention a email we got from listener James Harris, friend of the pod, James, who was telling us about a list that he's putting together with a friend that is great movies that you can only watch once. And of course, we recommended some movies that he may or may not have already heard about that are all of Jamie's favorites.
Yeah, I've of course been keeping a list.
Yeah, and it was prompted by our coffee table episode, the one before last.
See, coffee table didn't even make it to the list for me because it didn't hit me in the same way.
I can see it hitting people in that way. It made me profoundly uncomfortable. Oh, yes, listeners, one other thing. Before we get to talking about Smile, I wanted to mention I saw a movie on Friday that I wanted to recommend called Fall that is now on Hulu and Disney Hulu combo. That, I don't know when it came out. Let me check real quick. It is about these girls that like to climb and do lots of daredevil shit that climb to the top of this TV tower that's 2,000 feet in the air and then they get stuck up there.
Oh, no.
It is, oh my God, pants-shittingly suspenseful.
No. That's not a movie I think I want to watch.
2022 is when this movie came out.
I have a real hard time with heights.
So do I. And sister, let me tell you, this movie freaked me the fuck out.
Oh, now I kind of want to watch it, actually.
It's not great, but it's definitely worth it for the amount of scared that it makes you.
Okay.
It's the first act of the movie is unbelievably intense. So terrifying. I really recommend it just for and the movie is not bad. It's not bad. It's a 3-star.
Okay. Worth it.
But I gave it 4 because it scared the shit out of me.
Ugh. All right.
Yeah, if you're scared of heights, watch Fall 2022 on Hulu.
Okay. Good to know. Even like little clips of people crawling up towers to like change light bulbs or whatever on those things. Yes. I don't like it. My butt clenches. I feel like throwing up.
Yeah.
I feel like
Kate was saying that they have the people that have to change those lights, they pay them so much money.
Oh, yeah.
And they have to work like 3 times a year.
Right.
And that's it. But it's so dangerous that they're taken care of all year.
Yeah. I think that's fair.
Sure. Who else is going to do it? Hopefully one day they can just have drones that do that.
Well, it'd be a bummer for all those people who count on
I'd rather them have a job that they might not fall and die from.
I kind of feel like those people who go for those sorts of things are sort of adrenaline junkies anyways.
Could
and kind
be.
of like that to be a part of it. You wouldn't take that sort of thing if you weren't a little bit okay with an adrenaline kick.
Yeah, maybe not. I certainly wouldn't take that job, regardless of the pay.
No, ma'am.
No.
I get quarter of the way up and I'd be like, well, that's it. It was a good try.
Oh my God. The first, like, I think it's like the first 1,800 feet, they're climbing a ladder.
Yes.
That is in a cage.
In a cage, and then it's not.
And then the rest of it, they're not. So
Why
it's
can't the
200
cage
feet.
go the whole time?
I know.
Why?
I know.
Would that be so hard?
You need to text me if you watch this movie because
Okay,
I'm
I
anxious
definitely
to
will,
hear.
because now I want to see it.
Yeah. All right, let's start talking about Smile and Smile 2.
Okay.
First of all, the stats for Smile, please.
Smile. Rated R. Runtime of 1 hour, 55 minutes. Written and directed by Parker Finn. Stars Sosie Bacon, Kyle Gallner, and Cal Penn. It premiered at Fantastic Fest September 22nd, 2022. Released in theaters September 30th, 2022. And on Rotten Tomatoes, it's 79% fresh with critics and 77% fresh with audiences.
Thank you. And that one is about a psychiatrist named Rose, and she's played by Sosie Bacon, and that is Kevin Bacon and Kira Sedgwick's daughter, which I did not know.
I did not either.
Yeah.
But I see the Kira Sedgwick-y look.
I can see the Kevin Bacon face shape, too, actually, now that I know.
Interesting, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So she plays a psychiatrist who has a traumatic past where she witnessed her mother's overdose and eventual death. And this is hanging over her head. And she then witnesses a very disturbing event at work where someone commits suicide in front of her. And this leads her to believe that a malicious entity has designs on her, that she's the next victim. And the smile of the title comes from these people, once they have been possessed, I guess, by this entity, or if the entity is presenting themselves as another person in order to scare the victim, they smile in this creepy way.
Yes.
And there was viral marketing for this movie before it came out where they paid actors to go to Major League Baseball games and get on the Jumbotron, just standing there and smiling. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
It was very effective.
It was very cool marketing.
Yeah. And this was originally going to be just a Paramount Plus streaming movie, but it tested really well, so they ended up releasing it in theaters, and it ended up making a ton of money and scoring a sequel. So it was something that studios had faith in after testing, and it turned out to reward them. So that's Smile 1. Could you give us the stats now for Smile 2, please?
Sure. Smile 2 is rated R. Runtime 2 hours, 7 minutes. Written and directed again by Parker Finn. Stars Naomi Scott, Rosemary DeWitt, and Lucas Gage. It was released in theaters October 18th, 2024. Rotten Tomatoes, it's 86% fresh with critics and 81% fresh with audiences.
Thank you. I should also mention that these are both streaming on Paramount Plus, and I think the first one's also on Hulu.
Yes, I watched the first one on Hulu and then signed up for a free trial of MGM Plus to get to watch the second one.
Okay.
So it's on that too.
So there's other ways you can get it. But this one, it's the same curse. In fact, it picks up right where the last one left off, which I enjoyed. And it has moved to this global pop star who is coming back from kind of a career suicide moment that she had previously and had problems with drugs. So she ends up witnessing her drug dealer committing suicide while being under the influence of this demonic entity, and then the clock is ticking for her. And unfortunately, because she's this big famous star who's used to getting everything she wants and had this drug problem and burned all these bridges, all of this crazy behavior that she's now exhibiting is being seen as, oh, she's gone back to her old ways. She's relapsed. Yes. She's burning it all down, instead of the cry for help that it is. So that's how they've decided to build on the lore of the first one. Parker Finn, these are his first major films. This movie, the first one, was based on a short film that he made called Laura Hasn't Slept, that starred the same actress who kills herself in front of the main character, and it was about her.
Ah, okay.
Any other kind of trivia for this? The second one has also made a lot of money. I imagine there's going to be a third.
I would assume.
Based on this one?
Yes.
Another bit of nepotism in this one. The guy that the pop star, do you know her name? I can't remember.
In it, Sky Riley.
Sky, okay. The guy that Sky is with in her car crash that
Hudson
derails her career
Parker or something.
He's played by Jack Nicholson's son.
Yeah. I mean, it is definitely nepotism. He's not a major character, but they're like, we need someone who can pull off a creepy smile.
And he sure can.
Here you go.
And I think it was a intentional nod to Nicholson, being that he's the king of creepy smiles.
Yes, makes sense.
I don't know if you noticed, but the opening scene of the sequel was a one shot, no cuts. The part with what's his face, Kyle Gallner, your boyfriend.
Oh, it was, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
He does some little tricks, fun little tricks in these movies. A lot of upside down shots.
I like that just because the way the film goes and how you can't tell if it's real or not real, or if it's something that's in her head or actually happening sort of deal. Like, I like the constant flipping upside down because it just adds to the sort of confusion of it all.
Yeah, I've seen it in a lot of horror movies. It seemed like it was the thing to do for a while. But at least in this one, it does seem like it is intentionally not just to be flashy, but to
Yes.
Yes. So what did you think about these movies, Jamie?
All right, so Smile. I actually liked this more than I thought I would. I don't know why I had any sort of preconceived notions about this movie, just because maybe...
It seems like a gimmick and nothing more.
That's probably the only thing I can think of.
Yeah.
But it really wasn't. I think it was really well done. It was an interesting premise. Flat out, it definitely creeped me out. I watched the first one last night, and then the second one, half of it right after, and then the rest this morning. I only had 20 minutes left.
Okay.
But I obviously had to watch it alone in my room because Blaine is not interested in scary movies. And I thought the concept was really interesting and creepy. I thought the visuals were super unsettling. And I think, weirdly, this is a situation where I kind of almost feel like the second one is a little stronger than the first. And I think that's a lot to do with the lead actress's performance in the second one, and also some of the additional visuals, but she was awesome. So we'll get to that one next, obviously, but...
Oh, you know what? A little trivia about her. She played...
Princess Jasmine.
Yes.
In live-action Aladdin.
Yeah. Sorry, go on.
Wow, you wouldn't...
No.
Think that at all. But yeah, I thought the first one was really... It was really great and really skilled and successful at building up the tension. And it really sort of starts off intensely, where you have the patient come in and Rose is the doctor, and she's speaking to her, and she witnesses this incident where she's fine, she's terrified, but I mean, she's herself. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden switches, has almost looks like an epileptic fit of some sort, and then all of a sudden she's not, and then you see this gruesome scene of her killing herself. And I liked how intense that was so quickly. And I liked the idea that Rose, that's her name in the first one, right? Yeah.
Yes.
That she has this traumatic past and then also witnessed this traumatic event. So like the second movie, how folks generally weren't believing Skye because she had this past and they blamed it on her. Oh, you're just relapsing or it's falling apart. In the first one, Rose is not believed because they just feel like, oh, you've got this, isn't it genetic? Didn't your mom have mental illness and you've had all this trauma in your past? So maybe this is just affecting you more.
Also, she has the least sympathetic fiance ever.
He was horrible. It was horrible. Like, there was no moment.
The first sign of issue with anything, and he's that upset, and ready to peace out.
There was no moment where, like, he in any way seemed comforting, which kind of tracks, because then she even says later on when she's, like, really going through it, and she's been on, like, day 4 or 5, and this thing apparently, like, kills its quote-unquote host, is what they refer to them as, like, in a week or less.
Right.
And she's speaking to Joel, who's the Kyle Gallner character, and he's a cop. And they obviously used to have a relationship, and that's kind of touched on. But she explains to him that she, because of her past and all the stuff that's happened to her and what she went through, it's been impossible for her to let people in or be vulnerable. So that kind of tracks with, like, a fiance that's not attentive or doesn't even be there, because she's not letting anybody. She doesn't want that anyway. So he's really just sort of like a set piece for, like, her idea of what a normal life should be looking like. There are a couple really, really creepy scenes in the first one. I thought there were more in the second. And when I watched, like, the last 20 minutes of it this morning in bed, like, actually Blaine was watching too, and he doesn't like scary movies, and I was the one that's like, oh, I don't want to see this. Like, I don't like this at all. I don't like how this looks. I mean, in the best way possible. It was a very sort of benign, like...
Was it the stoplight scene? The scene where they're all coming for her in the apartment?
Yes.
That was cool, wasn't it?
It was so cool and so, like, not conventionally threatening.
Right.
Or, like, creepy, but the way their bodies moved, and it reminded me so much of that short film that I really like with the mannequins.
Still Life,
yeah, where they just move when you're not looking, and then that really got me. I don't know if it was because it was like I turned it on first thing in the morning and that was the next big scene to pop up, but, like, I thought it was super effective, just how they were all grouped together in this small space of the hallway, and, like, some had their arms, like, twisting around on the outside of the hallway. It was just... And everyone's smiling creepily. It was just very well done. But
really visually chilling.
Yeah. And there's a scene in the first one where she goes back to her childhood home at one point. And obviously it's like an attempt to confront her past and sort of maybe deal with what she's experiencing now. She's thinking she has to go to the source, I guess, and, like, deal with it there.
Yeah.
And take care of it. And she has this vision of her mom and has this sort of interaction with her, and then all of a sudden, like, she goes to shut the door, the mom's hand, like, stops it, and then the mom is, like, 10 feet tall and has to, like, hunch down, and she's somehow thinner also and has to hunch down and, like, crawl. And I've probably mentioned multiple times before that people or monsters, when they're at this, like, not too huge to be...
Those are, like, terrifying too.
Those are terrifying, but to me, where it's just like... Yes, where it's just, like, just enough unnatural that it messes with you. It's, like, almost like an uncanny valley thing. Your brain can't make sense of it because, there could be tall people, but not that tall. So that scene was really effective to me and, like, really creeped me out. And that was
a practical effect.
It was so good.
They built, like, a smaller set and had a lanky person...
Yeah, well, it was well done because it got me. And there's some gory scenes, maybe more so in the second one than the first one. Mm-hmm. But I think they're really well done. The visuals of the sort of monster or entity when you do see it, where it's sort of manifested in their mind, and how it has this, like, multiple layers of teeth.
Right.
and it like crawls out of their own body and like has this gaping maw, and then all
Gave
these
it a
jaws,
physicality that it was actually inhabiting, maybe.
Yes, and it was just really, really well done. I was surprised by how creepy I found it, and
I was very surprised
was.
too, seeing this for the first time. I saw it in the theater, and I wasn't expecting much. I was expecting, just a Blumhouse, whatever, just something brainless and fun to watch. And I was surprised at the depth of it and the effectiveness of it.
Yeah,
and that the performances were. I was surprised too that it had an adult at its center, and with adult problems.
Yeah.
But yeah, the theme of trauma being something that stays with you and is passed down, and the fact that witnessing things like that affects people, and it's a ripple effect, or a domino effect rather, I guess. I thought that was very smart, and smarter than I expected this movie to be.
Yeah, agreed. And that's my bad. I shouldn't judge a movie by its...
Well, we see a lot of these, and this is what they're normally like.
I should have given it a shot.
That's why I was glad that we revisited it. So you think you like the second one better, huh?
I kind of do. There's not as much Kyle Gallner in the second one, which is unfortunate.
That is sad.
He is very hunky, but...
He is.
I liked the acting in the second one better. I liked the intensity of it. I really think that main actress just absolutely made that movie. Like,
she did all the singing too, and the choreography herself. And that's a funny thing that's in the second one, is that there's like extended scenes of singing and dancing, which I actually kind of liked.
I did too. I didn't even mind it, because I like how it sort of almost incorporated itself into those creepy scenes later on, where it's like the chorus of dancers and they're like coming after her in the hallway.
If something was inside of her mind making her crazy, that's what it would do.
Right. But yeah, the second one I did like a little bit better. I think the intensity of it and her believability in her acting made it feel that much more intense. I also think the gore and like a lot of the suicide scenes and stuff were more intense. You really only see the one.
Yeah, there's not that many.
There's two really in the first one. In this one, you see at least the first one, and then you kind of get more afterwards, but also the entity when she's having sort of hallucinations or delusions, like showing her more gory things.
Yes.
I also really liked how you got a little bit more backstory into like, I like that it wasn't an info dump, where it wasn't like the first instance was in 1826 when this happened, and then it kept going. It was just somebody else who had been personally affected by it because of their brother, who had sort of figured out that it went back at least further than his brother.
Yeah.
And then she looks into it more, she looks into it more and finds out it goes a little further than that. I think they kind of touch on that a little bit in the first one, where Rose has Joel look into.
They do, because he looks into it, yeah.
A couple, yeah. So it's just a little bit more in the second one, but not so much where you're like, oh, they've given you a full explanation for it. There still really isn't. It's still just like a thing that feeds on trauma.
Yeah. I think it was pretty elegantly done in both movies.
And you learn a new rule in the second movie, where if you're infected, whatever, with the entity, if you kill somebody and there's a witness to you killing someone, then that witness then becomes affected, and you no longer are. So that's like an interesting... No, that's in the first one.
It is, because she thinks about doing it.
Yeah, she does. Right. That's right. So I guess I shouldn't have watched them so close to back, because I guess some things are getting confused. But that was in the first one, and I liked that. I liked that you learn this little rule that doesn't really have any impact, but it does lead to a hallucination of hers.
Yes.
Later on.
And it also... I think it was cool the way that the movie the second movie picks up straight from the end of the first one and
Yes.
and shows somebody doing what, you know, logically somebody would probably try and do to get out of it, and who they would go after. You know, if a good person got this and wanted to try and stay alive, what would they do? They'd go after somebody awful, right?
Yep.
Which is just what he does.
Yep. And then it just goes badly from there, obviously. But I also appreciate, like, you know, movies often use the whole, like, they'll give you a whole scene of something happening only to find out, like, oh, that was just in their mind, or it's just a delusion.
Right.
And there are a lot of moments in movies where that happens and we don't like it because it feels like
cheap.
It feels cheap. It feels like, oh, you couldn't think of another way to build tension or scare us, so you had to have some sort of fake out moment. And admittedly, both of these movies have a lot of those where things happen, but it is much like the turning upside down of
it's part of the
camera
story.
shots. It's part of the story. It makes perfect sense, and it helps you get in the mindset of the main character, where you're like, I also have a hard time figuring out, like, where the real part is, because especially in the second one, I found there were a couple, like, very extended scenes where, like, at first I was kind of like, this might be a thing, but then it's been like a while, so you're like, okay, like, oh, okay, then it's not, this is real, and then all of a sudden it's very much not, and you're like, God damn, you got me again. But, like,
you got me again, you
I don't
sons of
get mad
bitches.
about it because
we want to be got.
Then it ends so, especially in the second one, that very extended scene like that, which leads to the actual end scene of the movie. I thought was really well done. And it, like, built up the tension in a way that when you see that end scene with her on the stage, it's like, it feels that much more impactful, because then you see the audience and you know exactly what's about to happen.
That's right. However, I would like to point out, I'm very proud of Kay, because we watched this movie. Actually, I can't say this right now because it's a giant spoiler.
Okay.
But the second we turned on the movie and learned the setup that it was going to be a pop star, Kay was like, oh, I bet she's going to...
Yeah. Oh, sure.
And God bless her, she was right.
Yeah.
And I was very impressed that even now I've made my partner into somebody who can see a horror movie plot from a mile away.
Yep.
Which I think was probably the idea when he decided to make a sequel to this. He was probably worked back from that.
Yeah. It would make sense.
Yeah, probably.
But yeah, I really liked both of them. I think I'd probably give the first one, like, I don't know, it's hard. I'd maybe give the first one like a 3.5 or 4, and then the second one like a 4 or 4.5.
I think I would probably give the first one a 3.5, and the second one, I'd probably give them both 3.5s. I think I like the first one a little bit better personally, but I really liked the direction that they chose to go with the sequel. I think it was very smart.
Yeah.
I think some of the jump scares in the first one are a little cheap, but there are some really effective visuals, like you said, like the many-jawed baddie and the mom growing in size. I thought that was really an interesting way to make her feel like she was a little kid again, you know, by making the monster grow that big. And I thought that the first one had a little bit of a more solid theme behind it. And I liked the theme of the trauma being passed down and being a chain. I thought that was more fully realized in the first one. The second one, I don't think it was a little muddled, but the things that they did to add to it and the little extras that they used to build onto the premise of the first one, I think were cool and made up for the lack of a concise and well thought out theme.
Okay.
The second one had to be a product placement for Voss Water, right?
Oh, I should have made a note because I thought that while watching it. I was like, wow, brought to you by Voss Water.
Yeah. I found moments from the second one as creepy as the first one, but overall I was more creeped out by the first one because the sense of hopelessness, I think, was more evident throughout. There's a scene that I really like in the first one, but it made me so uncomfortable. It's that scene where she goes to her nephew's birthday party.
Oh, yeah.
And her cat has disappeared. And of course, she has wrapped up her dead cat and given it to her nephew. I really liked that scene and the fact that you could tell that her nephew was going to be traumatized forever for this.
Right.
So it shows you another layer of trauma. And I thought that was really cool. But the embarrassment and the public shame of what she did there because of this creature that's messing with her mind.
Uh-huh.
The second movie is like all that.
Yes.
They took that from the first movie and made an entire movie out of it. So there's so many more instances in the second movie of her making a fool of herself or coming off crazy or coming off like an asshole because this creature's been messing with her mind.
Yeah.
It's like the whole movie is those kind of scenes. And because of that, I think it wasn't quite as scary, but I liked it still. Her speech at the dinner.
Oh
God, how embarrassing was that?
But I laughed so hard when she accidentally threw that lady off the stage.
I know.
But yeah, that whole scene was rough.
Oh, so embarrassing. And her dressing room being trashed and her threatening her assistant.
Oh, yeah. I think it was the fact that it was all of that. And that's how it was with her, like, sort of from the beginning, as soon as she's kind of possessed by it. Why I found it more intense and effective for me, just because those feelings, that feeling of, like, not being believed or, like, embarrassed in front of the group, even though you are experiencing something, they just don't see it, or, like, that feeling of everyone looking at you and judging you in such a way is one of my least favorite feelings.
Yeah, it's a terrifying feeling.
Yeah. So that you see it so much during the second one. And I just feel like you feel it much more intensely.
You do, for sure. And maybe that's why I didn't enjoy it as much, because that's something that makes me very uncomfortable.
Yeah. And go figure, it makes me very uncomfortable, but that's why
But you like it. Yeah. This tracks for both of us.
Yep.
I was going to say something else. So it plays on that, the fear of being ostracized in society for acting out, for going against the norm. Mm-hmm. And it also plays on the fear that we can't trust our senses, that we can't trust our own thoughts and our mind. And that's a terrifying thing. So I think that these thematically are very cool, compelling movies.
Yeah, agreed.
I do think that the actual conceit of the smiling person is not as scary in the second one, I think, because we're just more used to it, except for that scene where they're playing Stoplight.
Okay. God, that scene was so creepy.
Yeah.
Ugh. If I ever saw that coming down my hallway, I'd run away.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like this note here you have in the trivia. I hadn't looked it up. That Sky's like drug dealer guy, or that she knew from school, who dies by suicide in the beginning of the second movie, or towards the beginning, is Louis Frigoli.
Yeah, and when I heard that name, I was like, why do I know that name?
Yeah.
Right. Tell them what the Frigoli delusion is.
So the Frigoli delusion is when someone believes that multiple people are actually the same person in disguise. So basically like the film. And it says the smile entity's like MO fits Laura's description of it, which is wearing people's faces like masks.
That's a pretty cool Easter egg, huh?
Yeah. I like that little bit of info.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Shall we get into some spoilers now? I think we both recommend that. I think these are both worth watching. We didn't say who it's recommended for. I would say they're too long.
Oh, yeah.
I wish they were
but
a little
honestly,
shorter.
I wasn't annoyed by it. Like, I didn't think either of them were.
I don't think that they drag, though.
No.
But when I saw the runtime for both of these, I was pretty surprised.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, okay. Probably didn't need to be that, but...
But they don't drag, really. I would say it's definitely a horror fan movie. I would say, if you are the kind of horror fan like me who is kind of snobby about things, don't think that this movie is beneath you, because it's surprisingly, they're both pretty smart and have some interesting themes going on. So my recommendation is to not underrate this one. I think that they're worth seeing.
Agreed. I'm with you.
So let's talk spoilers. They both end pretty badly.
Yeah.
Pretty
Another
badly.
reason I'm rating them higher than some other movies, although I'm a pretty generous rater, but why they're higher up on my opinion list of movies is because I can always appreciate when they end, when you have the main character go through this struggle the entire movie, and you're really kind of rooting for them because they didn't ask for it, and it didn't really do anything bad and all this stuff, and then they still don't make it in the end.
Right. And it really seems like there isn't a way to satisfactorily get rid of this monster, which is also cool.
Yeah.
That there isn't a way out. There's things that people have tried.
Right. No guarantee.
But you're not a match for something that can manipulate your mind. Come on.
Right.
So in the end of the first one, ex-boyfriend tries to save her, but she ends up setting herself on fire and killing herself in front of him very traumatically, which of course passes it on to him.
Yep.
And then at the beginning of this movie, he tries to kill some bad guys.
It goes horribly wrong.
Yeah, and somebody witnesses it. So then it was transferred to him, and that's how it gets to Sky.
For
a goalie. And at the end of this one, like Kay predicted in the first 3 minutes of this movie, our hero kills herself on stage in front of thousands of fans, thus opening it up for... And I hope they don't make another one, because the promise of this is better than anything that they could really come up with.
I kind of agree. Like, I'd be fine if they just left it at 2, just because you know what's going to happen. But I don't think...
it's a fun... It's not something you need to see played out. It's just the idea of it is kind of delicious, you know?
But I feel like the studio execs, with the success of the first and second, there's
probably
no way they're going to let that slide.
Right.
But we'll see. I just really liked in the second one how, I don't know, I think I, for some reason, found her character to be more sympathetic than Rose in the first one. So I was maybe rooting for her a little bit more.
Well, Rose's character is pretty buttoned up and doesn't really let anybody in.
So maybe
you don't
that's
see
why.
her be that vulnerable, I guess. So
yeah, that's probably why. But you also almost see, whether through hallucinations or visions or what, you see Sky, at least from what I can remember, I could be confusing the two again, but like almost like actively trying to do more to, or it seems like she is, like trying to get rid of it. And they've also brought another person in too, who knows more about it and is like, here, I'm going to help you. Mm-hmm. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to inject you with this, and your heart will stop for 8 minutes. You'll effectively die, and then I'll resuscitate you. And that should kill the entity. Like, because it'll go away as soon as you, quote unquote, officially die. And you see in the end, like, this scene play out. And I think it's more just like in that prolonged scene of like her waking up in the hospital, like the wellness center with her mom, and then thinking that she killed her mom. And then...
Right. That was intense, wasn't it?
It was horribly intense. And then having to escape, and then being outside where people are seeing her, then her friend showing up, and then being in the car with her friend, only to then have her friend call on the phone and be like, sorry, it's been a few days. I haven't gotten back to you. Like, why are you calling me? And then you kind of think like, oh my God, so her friend hasn't even been part of this picture like the entire time.
Right.
And it like all of that was super creepy. And then she gets to the place where she's supposed to go. Like, it still had me believing that that was all actually happening, even though we were in a delusion at that point.
Right.
But then, yeah, she gets there and it goes horribly wrong.
And kind of dovetails with the substance in its ending.
Yeah. I loved... that's
in a
why
big
I really
spectacle
liked
on stage.
that scene where she essentially like wakes up and realizes, yeah, she imagined all that and she's on stage now. And you see it almost like from the audience point of view where she's just having like a fit on stage and they're like, oh, is she okay? And then she stands up like facing the back and turns around and see she's given the creepy smile. So you know, like, well, this is it. It's over. And I liked how in her delusion or like in her hallucination at one point she envisioned this, or maybe it was at that scene, I can't remember, and it's like she rips open the scar on her belly from the car accident that she was in earlier in the movie, and she rips that open and she like her skin like flops backwards, so you see the monster like crawling out from the front, but then you see her face like flop over in the back because her like skin suit flipped, and like I just thought it was just a really nice scene how that was done. I liked it.
We're weird.
We are. And the monster was like all elongated and like crawling out in a creepy way and had that creepy like extended jaw almost with all the teeth. And then you see her. You don't see her kill herself. It's one of the ones we don't actually see. You just hear the sounds and you see the horrified reactions of the audience. And then
which has got to be this entity's like dream.
Yeah, seriously.
Unless it doesn't have the means to go and possess a bunch of different people. It does seem pretty labor intensive.
Yeah, maybe it'll just have to pick one out of the crowd.
Right.
But yeah, I liked the bleak endings. It was sad because you like both characters for the most part. Like, again, they're good people who didn't ask for this and they tried their best to like get help for it and find a way out of it or to keep people around them safe from it, only to end up ultimately dying in the end.
Yeah.
And passing it on.
And
in the first one, you know, she ends up passing it on to someone she really didn't want to pass it on to.
Right. Someone she cared about.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, is usually who it's going to be.
Exactly,
for this.
yeah. Which really kind of tracks for traumatic stuff.
Exactly. Which is why this is smarter than the average jump scary horror movie.
Agreed.
So that is what we think about Smile and Smile Part 2.
Part 2.
Let us know what you think. Did you enjoy these movies? For our next film, we are going to do another theatrical release. I've been seeing lots of ads for this, and I am intrigued by the fact that it is made by Steven Soderbergh. It's called Presence, and it stars Lucy Liu, and it is in theaters January 24th.
I looked up the quick synopsis of it, and I have heard of this movie. And
you have?
I did want to see it, yeah.
What's the synopsis?
Well, now I have to go back and look at it. We just talked about...
Well, can't you just... Oh.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I skimmed it, and then I remembered, I think I asked Becky if she had seen it, or...
Well, Steven Soderbergh hasn't made like a straight up horror movie, but he did make Unsane a couple years ago
like
with
a
Claire
family
Foy.
Moves into a house, blah, blah, blah. They think someone's there. Hold on. A family becomes convinced they are not alone after moving into their new home in the suburbs.
Okay, it sounds like your average haunted house movie.
Yes.
But Lucy Liu and Steven Soderbergh, so I'm on board.
Yeah,
we hope that you will be too, and that you'll see it in a couple weeks with us. And then we will talk about it back here.
Yay.
I have been buying lots of horror books lately. I got a gift card for Barnes & Noble, so I bought some stuff. I got the new Nick Cutter book called The Queen, which is a hardback, but I got it for half off, and I'm pretty chuffed about that.
Nice.
I got a book called The Grip of It by Jack Jemk, which I've been wanting to read for a long time and have not been able to get my hands on. I found that at the used bookstore recently. What else have I gotten? I got a book called Negative Space by B.R. Yeager. Oh, I got another Michael McDowell book, Cold Moon Over Babylon.
Ooh.
That'll probably be my next read when I'm done with this book I'm reading now. I'm still on that 1,000-page Stream of Consciousness book. I'm 40% through it.
Hey, you're doing great.
Thank you. It's taken a while. But I got all kinds of horror books. I got a book called Helpmeet, which is like a novella about this lady caring for her husband in the early 1800s, and he's dying of some weird sexually transmitted disease where he rots away while he's alive.
Oh.
Seems like a cool little body horror novella.
For sure.
I'm excited about that. What else? I don't know. But I've gotten a lot of books lately, and I'm pleased.
Yay.
Trying to fill up that bookshelf.
You're getting there.
Yeah. Better
That's
than
very
it
nice.
was. Thank you. Thank you kindly. You been reading anything good lately or watching anything good?
Well, we watched, I think it's on, might be on Netflix, the documentary about Martha Stewart.
Oh, was it good?
It was so good.
Really?
Man, that woman. I mean, I always kind of liked her, but like, what an impressive person.
Really?
She just got everything she got into. She went full steam ahead and was successful at everything. She was also like one of the first woman to like work on Wall Street in stock trading, with the men, and did great at it.
Oh, cool.
It was just a really cool documentary, and she totally got fucked over.
Oh, by the insider trading shit?
Yes. Yeah, like that was a total
They're
load of
just
bullshit.
making an example out of her?
Yes, 100%.
I see.
But it was a really good documentary. Other than that, I haven't really been watching or reading. We've been doing a lot of cleaning and sorting, still unpacking some of his stuff, trying to consolidate pots and pans and various other
that's always
things.
fun
And,
having two sets of kitchen things. I still have
yeah.
two sets of kitchen things.
yeah, we've got it all laid out on my dining room floor. Because he does most of the cooking, so it's like you have to determine what you use the most.
Right.
Anything else
right.
we can donate. It's fine. And I've got a lot of storage. So that's what we've been doing a lot of. That sort of stuff.
Fair enough. Oh, you know what I watched over the weekend too, or maybe last week, was that movie Swallow, which I know we had almost reviewed it a couple of times. It's about a lady who has like pica. Is it pica if people have it?
Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't sure if it was something else if people had it, and pica if dogs and cats have it.
Yep.
But I liked it. I thought it was really good. It was definitely not a horror movie.
Okay.
It was more of a character study of this lady that had a lot of problems.
Oh, all right.
It was good. I liked
it. Still
it.
sounds good. I like those kinds of movies.
Yeah. Swallow. She eats thumbtacks and batteries and all kinds of bad shit.
Interesting. All
Jacks.
right. I'll check that out. I know I'm late to the game, but we did start watching Ozark.
My parents keep trying to get me to watch that.
I had tried a few times and couldn't get into it, but I like it better this time
Yeah.
around. Yeah.
We're watching MasterChef.
Also good.
Also good.
Also good.
It stresses me out so bad, though.
Really? I love
Yeah.
cooking shows in general.
They make me so nervous. I just don't want anyone to fail.
Well, yeah. But
I
someone's
like
gotta
them
be the
all,
master.
and they all are trying their best. And I hate to see somebody
Yeah.
fail and have to put their apron down.
Okay. Well,
I'm too gentle for this world.
you're too
Jamie.
gentle for this world, yes.
All right, listeners. This has been episode 268. We'd like to thank you for listening. If you have not given us a review on your listening platform of choice, please do so. Thank you in advance for interacting with us on social media or emailing us at thebloodlustpodcast@gmail.com. Contacting us on Facebook or Instagram. I should go on Threads, too, as The Bloodlust. Who has time for all of these things?
Who wants to give more information to the mega social media folks, anyways, not me.
It's a great point. So anyway, thanks for listening. Thanks, Jamie, for joining me.
Of course.
Join us next week or in 2 weeks' time to review The Presence. Until then, I've been Amy.
I'm Jamie.
Good night and hail Satan.
Bye.